What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review. Today, we have a Ana and Baptiste game. I'm not sure what the breakout between these two heroes will be because I haven't watched this VOD yet. But let's get into the introduction. Trying to climb solo right now with support. I want help trying to understand better positioning as well as general game sense. I notice I keep dying and want help to avoid dying. Mainly play Ana or Baptiste. Not sure if they are bad picks or not. And that's what we got for an intro. So Ana is definitely meta for picking. Kiriko is the other. If your aim and mechanic in general are good, Baptiste and Ana are great picks. If your mechanics are not good, they are terrible picks. It just depends on how good your aim is, because both of those heroes require on a lot of aim. They're very high skill cap heroes, but if you can manage and you have that skill, they are 100% some of the best supports to be playing. Ana more than Bap, but Bap, if you're landing like headshots and your healing grenades are on point, he's just as good as just about anybody, especially with the lamp, if your lamps are coming out at the right time. But he's definitely one of the harder supports to play because of the timing. Has to like really be on point there. Same kind of thing with Ana. The healing and the aiming, it all kind of goes coinciding with one another. Landing your anti-nades and your sleeps. The sleep darts are always the thing I personally have the most trouble with because I don't play a ton of Ana, but I play with a lot of Ana, so I know what Ana should be doing. So with that being said, let's get into our team comp situation here. So this is our Ana, and we're playing Ana Kiriko. That's basically the meta support right now. I've been doing a lot of climbing lately, playing on the Kiriko role of this duo of healing, but this is definitely a good healing duo. Followed by Hanzo, Junkrat, and Junker Queen. So I'm not a huge fan of the Junker Queen, but I think after this latest patch, we'll probably be seeing a lot of Junker Queens, and time will tell if those upgrades to Junker Queen are going to actually make her more viable or not. I have not played a single game after the new patch yet, so I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other on that. So this is a VOD from the new patch that came out on Thursday. So being Junker Queen here, I would say from the previous patch and moving backwards in time, I wouldn't really like the Junker Queen here, but she's been buffed and we'll see what she can do against things. We had a Junker Queen in the last VOD review, and that one was also from the new patch, and frankly, that Junker Queen didn't seem all that bad. If they had a little bit better support behind them, they probably could have done a little bit more in that game. As far as this one goes, time will tell. They're playing against a Ramatra. What I would like to see against a Ramatra, though, is a shield, because his ult does not go through shields anymore. I don't know when that change went in. I noticed it I think I noticed it on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. Something like that. I don't know. But I don't know when that change happened, because over New Year break, that Ramatra ult was going through shields, but it's not now. So having like a Rhine would be huge to kind of block off that shield or that ultimate, but we don't have that. However, we do have a Junkrat, and I do like Junkrat against Ramatra because when he ults, you can pop tire and just take him out right away. So the other thing I'd be looking for from an Ana player is sleeping Ramatra when he ults. Because when he's doing his block and he's got his hands up, you can still sleep him from that. So if you don't know that, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm looking for good antis, positions that keep you kind of safe from incoming fire, but still in a position where you can heal people from a distance. Knowing when to take scope shots, knowing when to take hip fire shots. In terms of who to nano, the only person I really see that would benefit from a clear and obvious nano is Junker Queen. So unless this team comp changes while you're on Ana, because eventually you're going to go Baptiste, but I don't know when that is. So in terms of what we've got right now, I only see Junker Queen as a obvious nano target, unless one of your DPS is like really popping off and then you just give it to them to, you know, prolong a fight or something. I would just be looking for you to give it to Junker Queen here. Other than that, that's about all I've got. In terms of other supports you could be playing, I kind of like the Ana here. I don't really see any clear and obvious supports that you could be playing. I guess the only avenue I'd maybe go down is like a Zen or a Lucio just for a defensive support ultimate. I don't think it's like one of those things that's required though, but I do see a few things that could be countered with a defensive ult, and that being Reaper and Soldier. Having a trance or a beat drop for those ultimates could be kind of big, and then on top of that the nano, because they're probably going to nano visor, and you guys don't have a single shield for that, so when they nano visor you guys will be in trouble. That's really the only suggestion I would have in terms of playing a different support. It's not a total requirement. I like the Ana Kiriko, but if you're looking for suggestions on what else to play, a Lucio or a Zen could maybe be the swapping point. Baptiste could potentially work, but let's see what you do here and we'll go from there with it. So without further ado, looks like we got another longer one, so I might be kind of fast forwarding or at least you know, speeding things up a bit at certain points here just to keep things moving. Because I think I just did a Baptiste VOD review on this map and it was kind of a longer one. So one thing I would like to see from you is kind of going over here and throwing an anti-nade onto the cart and hitting something with that to give these two maybe a target to shoot at. Because right now you're just kind of in heal bot mode. I don't mind taking a couple pot shots as Ana here, getting the anti off, do a little bit of damage, focus mostly on healing, but get a shot or two off once in a while. Supporting is mostly about healing your team, but you know, when you do a little bit of damage, it just helps. Yeah, like by now I would have expected at least one nade thrown. And that nade is useless. Focus mainly on anti-healing, unless it's like a real emergency that you need to like heal something, but I'm not a big fan of this positioning anymore either, because it's kind of putting you at an awkward angle. Typically where I usually see Ana's is probably playing like somewhere around here, maybe in this vicinity, or over back in that area, depending on exactly where the fight's taking place, but you're kind of in an awkward spot at this point. If your team gets pushed back into the courtyard we're looking at, staying up here could potentially be fine. But as it stands right now, you're kind of in an awkward spot. I would like to have seen that nade maybe thrown in such a way where maybe you could have healed your tank and then also anti'd the enemy tank at the same time. Like if you had it right now and dropped it on him, you'd have been able to do that. Yeah, I was about to say that this is a good sleep opportunity here. Unfortunately, he's about to just get woken up right away, but hopefully that'll just buy your tank enough time to get healed by the Kiriko. And maybe from you, but it's looking grim. There you go, there's a good anti, and you got your tank with it. So imagine if you did that twice now. Heal your Hanzo before you take the lamp out. Lamp is a secondary thing to take out. It's not really your job to take it out. In a case like this, it would have been to keep your Hanzo going, your tank going, keeping your team aggressive with heals from you. so that they could take that stuff out and then shoot at the enemy team. The other thing is like I said, you were kind of in an awkward spot, and as the enemy team pushes up, you're now kind of like behind enemy lines. So, you know, when I first pointed out the positioning, probably dropping down and like maybe even getting into this room right here would have been advantageous. Okay, we're just gonna fast forward until you're back in the fight. So, oops, I lost you. So I would have liked to have rather have seen you kind of like healing the Hanzo or just getting out of this spot in general. This isn't really a good place for you guys to be picking this fight. You're mostly short range heroes. I mean, I get Anna's not, but you don't really have a good line of sight coming from down here. Neither did the Hanzo. Just get to the corner off to your right and just get ready to hold there.
Let's take him to the underworld.
What is this Junker Queen doing? Bad sleep dart, poor aim. Yeah, that's I don't know why that Junker Queen did what she did. That's massive overextension right there. Where the cart is right now, that's where I would have liked to have seen your team holding and then contesting around that corner. That would have been a good spot. You should be backing up, getting behind whatever is left of your team. See, this is what I was talking about having like a defensive ult. When soldier ults, you guys got nothing. So that could be something advantageous to have. Lamp could potentially help for that too, but... So this is going to snowball very quickly because this is going to kill you.
Might have to adjust my approach.
Okay, well that was a good sleep and then you just waited it out. The bad news to that ultimate, and this has nothing to do with what you did and how you played it, but the bad news is that it's all keeping you guys in spawn and they're going to push the cart to the second point, and they basically got the second point with no resistance. But that's not anything of your fault outside of just, oh, you've got nano confirm on. Very good. I swear I have to yell at everybody to turn that on. There's people in Diamond and Masters games I feel like I have to yell at to turn that on because they nano the wrong person and it's obvious they're not having nano confirm on. So that's very good. I'm impressed that you have that on. Good job on that front. I don't think I would have nanoed there though. Because you're not going to contest the second point any further. They're going to get it by the time you guys get there, unless you had Lucio's speed boost and just rush straight to the cart from here. But instead, you guys are just choosing to fight out of your spawn. So I don't think I would have committed a nano to that. I would have committed nano when you guys were at a point where you were going to contest the cart and probably win it, or hope to win it anyway. Good sleep. Unfortunately, your team keeps waking him up. Tanks don't die until the supports at bare minimum are dying from their team. So it would be nice to seeing your team shooting at other heroes other than the tank, because you're really just feeding support ultimates, but it is what it is. I'd like to see a ping on that. Okay, somebody pinged the Reaper there. Good. You didn't need to throw a grenade into that, though. If you were going to throw a nade, throw it at the cart. I don't think I would have suggested throwing that nade at the cart right there either, though. But, I mean, if that's where you were going to throw it, that's where it should have went. Good anti, but I would have liked to have seen you just sleep him first to try to save your tank. But it worked out. He died, so whatever. Only problem is, too bad you didn't have the sleep for the Reaper, because that could have maybe been a little bit better there, but you know, you can only do so much. So I would just say stay around this vicinity of where you're at now for this entire point, unless your team starts pushing up out of this room because they're winning. Otherwise, just kind of stay in this vicinity. Just trust the Kiriko to heal the soldier and keep your tank healed and aggressive, get good antis and sleeps, and maybe take a few pot shots here and there at the enemy team.
It's go time.
Throwing anti-nade probably like around this vicinity or in this lane would be good. Yeah, try to avoid using your nades for healing. I get that you're trying to keep an alting character aggressive, but your mechanics, if you're going to play Ana, should be good enough that you could just heal that with just firing at them. If you feel like your hip firing is not good enough, just scope in. Don't be afraid to scope in and just heal them that way. See, like, right there would have been a good time to throw a nade. You would have gotten the Ana and maybe the Reaper. You're playing too close right now. Back up, back up, back up. Yeah. Bad nade, bad sleep, playing too close. You're backing up now. Like, right now you're in a good spot, but before you weren't. And you didn't get any value from being up there either, because, like, I could have seen, like, a counter argument, like, okay, well, I was playing up so I could land my sleep and nade a little easier, but that didn't end up happening, so... I would, at this point, I would just be trying to get everybody shooting at this Ramatra, because otherwise this ult's not going to stop, and they're just going to shove it down your throat. And that's what happened, yeah. When Ramatra ults, you either need a shield to block it, you need a DPS ult that can take it out right away, or everybody's just, as a team, has to be shooting at that Ramatra and punishing him until he's dead, because that ult's not going to stop otherwise, and in this case, that's what happened. Complete. And that means the supports, too. Like, landing your nade, landing some shots, punishing the Ramatra, and, you know, keeping him honest.
Tell me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so we've got... Okay, so a round of Ana, a round of Baptiste. So, I don't like Baptiste here. I just don't see a lot of value. I don't see a lot of value between both of these supports. Between both of you, Mercy would be a good play here. Ana could still be a good play. I'd like to see between one of you, Lucio or a Zen. We'll just encompass these for both of you, and then for you staying Ana. To have some kind of defensive ult for when soldier ults, you at least have a shield now with Ramatra, but I don't know. I feel like a Lucio speeding that Ramatra around could be helpful. You have a Reaper off to your left there. I feel like you're going to have the same problem I saw with the last Baptiste I reviewed. You're aiming too low. You got to aim for headshots. And same thing with the splash healing. If you can aim that higher and hit them in the back, you'll get more healing out of it. When you're splashing it at the ground, that does less. Okay, good. You got a headshot there. Good. The one good thing about you playing BAP here is okay, now you have a Bastion. You have a lot of heroes that can utilize your window if you put it in a good spot. So that's the good thing about BAP here. Yep, good lamp. Okay. The only thing I would have said there is instead of trying to DPS that Bastion, once you lamped, shift, because you never used your shift ability, which is kind of strange to me. That's usually an ability I see get overused, if anything. But throw your lamp, shift to heal yourself, take a couple pot shots at the Bastion, and then jump up to here. And then once you're up here, you can just start healing your team from up here, and you should be relatively safe the entire fight, because you've got a lot of healing to do. The shift, if you were in a decent spot, would have probably gotten the Sojourn. Bastion's probably too far away, but I think you could have gotten Sojourn in it. That would have pretty much topped her off. Not quite, but it would have been pretty close, like, you know, around 85%, give or take. But there's a lot of healing to be done here and not DPSing the Bastion. A couple shots just to keep him honest wouldn't have been bad, but I don't think I would have overcommitted to it, and then just jump up here and start healing is kind of more along the lines of what I would have been looking for.
How about I try that again?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
You are completely healed.
So aiming with the healing nade, I wasn't really hearing the sound effect from that, so just, you know, work on that aiming. Don't be afraid to jump up and then shoot down with the nade too. Sometimes that can help with aiming those healing nades. So I'm not really seeing you utilizing that jump at all. Yeah, I was about to say, throw your lamp to keep your tank aggressive and then just pump them full of heals. Again, don't be afraid to jump up to that high ground and heal down. That's not something you're doing at the moment. Yeah, so like if you're on that high ground, you're not going to get hit from that, and then you could be healing your tank who is still ulting right now. And you would have been able to maximize your tank's aggressive efforts a little bit more there.
Not every day gives you a second chance. Here with the cure.
Just back out, wait for your team. He should be completely safe in this position, so I wouldn't worry too much about what he's doing.
Eyes open now.
Our enemies approach. Amplification makes this. Let them up.
An okay window, I'd like to see it focused down this way though, because it's very easy for them to get out of this line of sight because it's so far forward. If they were playing like up in this vicinity, like right here, that window being like right here, it's a lot on the screen. That window being like right here could be valuable, but the problem with this window is they can just walk over that way and get out of the line of sight out of it. And I don't think you're going to have much angle with that window going down off to the right. I don't think. Will we? You got a little bit of an angle, but not much of one. And then the problem is because there's so little of an angle, they can take pot shots at you and potentially kill you. So imagine if you saved that window and put it down this way, and then, or actually even eclipsed it over here, and then you could shoot through there too. That would have been a little bit better of a, because you got to try to get as best a value you can out of that, you know. And when they can just take a few steps off to the side and get out of the line of sight out of it, then that window ends up kind of becoming useless. Now you did get a pick out of it. But, I mean, she was already one, and you would have been able to kill her with or without that window. So, you know, not the greatest of value from that window. And then be careful when you throw lamp and when you jump. When you jump above the lamp, that lamp doesn't protect you. So you could have gotten yourself in trouble there. But honestly, when Bastion ults, if you jump up at max height with a Baptiste jump, unless it hits you dead on, I don't think it does any damage to you, unless it like falls dead on top of you.
You are completely healed.
Heal, heal, heal. Yeah, a little bit more focus on the healing would have been nice there. You could have jumped to that high ground to keep your tank going, but then the DPS probably don't get healed, so you're kind of in a rough spot there, but it's pretty much a get out or die situation.
I require assistance.
C'est encore bon monde qu'a fait ça. Here with the cure.
Surrender to my will.
Okay, I don't know why you kind of hesitated there. You kind of like hesitated to throw anything out, and then all of a sudden you threw it all out. And that cost your Bastion his life. Might have still died regardless, but you could have kept him up a little longer and maybe could have did a little bit more damage or something.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
Same thing here, you're letting your Bastion die. Your Bastion's positioning is kind of bad too though, but...
Got to reload. Might want to focus.
Poor aiming. You should have at least been body shotting that Lucio. Heal your tank, heal your tank, heal your tank. When Ramatra ults, all focus and all resources go to that Ramatra, especially in a situation where his ultimate isn't very easily countered, and they're not easily countering his ultimate, just as long as you're pocketing the ever-loving shit out of him. When Ramatra ults, give him everything that he needs to live.
Nice to be the patient. Moving out.
If he needs Lucio's speed boost, give it to him. If he needs a lamp, give it to him. If he just needs a shit ton of heals coming his way, give it to him. Unless he's playing into like a Reinhardt or a Junkrat who's tiring him every time he ults. You know, something that like counters his ultimate. If that's not happening, give him everything he needs. And right here, I don't know what you're doing. You're frontlining. Your aim's not good enough to punish anybody who's contesting you. And nothing's happening because the enemy's on the cart, so you're not pushing the cart. Like, if the cart were moving, I could kind of understand what you were doing, but the cart's not moving. So you staggered yourself, you got yourself killed, and now they're going to have to either wait for you or move in without you. You need to be alive for these things.
Stay near the immortality field.
Yeah, so once again, your aim kind of not great there against that soldier. Soldier can be tricky to hit, so I'll give you a little bit of slack on that, but I mean, worst case scenario, just walk up and punch him a couple times, because you did get him pretty low. But I'd like to see a little bit better aim there. Either shoot the Ramatra or keep healing your tank and Moira, or a little bit of both. You've got your shift. If you use shift here, you could be popping some shots at this Ramatra. And then once you get like maybe I'd say 3 waves of shots in, then you start healing again. If you pop your shift. That shift, in case you don't know, gives an instant 100 HP, and then at that point it trickle heals for a little while. And I don't know what the math is on what the trickle healing is, but it's enough healing for right now to keep them aggressive against that Ramatra, and then allow you to be aggressive against that Ramatra for a few waves of shots, and then you can go back to heal botting again. Problem is, though, that you don't have a lot of healing. Oh wait, you reloaded. Okay, never mind. The other thing is you have window. Did you have it when I said this? Yeah, you did. So the other thing here, And I don't. So you're holding a lot of abilities from. You're withholding them from your team. Like shifting and then being aggressive against that Ramatra could have been really useful. Windowing and then melting that Ramatra would have been super useful. I don't even know why I didn't notice that at first, but that would have been a great opportunity to just window right there. That Ramatra, your Ramatra could have just shot through that window and melted him, and then you could have gotten even a couple shots off. Like right here, just window him. Window him so that the window goes down there and he's dead. Yeah, like why did you wait to use your shift there? I don't like you gotta be way more aggressive with your shift ability. That's the first thing that should be coming out in almost every fight. Because you would have been probably on a second one. Well, you definitely would have had a second one by now. But look at this ultimate. It's shoving you guys back to spawn because your team does not know how to deal with this ultimate. And this is why I hate Ramatra's ult. It is a super aggressive and super I can't even think of the right word I'm trying to use for this. But this ultimate will punish teams more than I think any other ultimate in the game will if you don't know how to handle it. And I will say you don't know how to handle it, but your entire team doesn't know how to handle it. And I see a lot of people still struggling with this ultimate. I mean, people in a lot higher ranks than this are struggling with this. So, okay, healing through that window can be another good opportunity to keep your Ramatra aggressive here. So I do like that. And then healing your Moira so she can heal him. But see what happens here? Your Ramatra gets antied, and then he's got to fall back. So your Moira should be Kiriko, frankly, or you should be Kiriko to cleanse antis. Kiriko, when there's an Ana on the enemy team, your team needs to be running Kiriko because anti-heal is so oppressive. That's the word I was looking for. Ramatra's ult is super oppressive when your team doesn't know how to handle it. And same with anti-heal. Anti-heal is a very oppressive ability when it's landed at the right times. And that's why Kiriko is such a must play when Anas are anti-ing your teammates or Junker Queens, really. Having a cleanse here would be so vital. And I don't know why you and your Moira are not giving that to your tank. Like, lamp kind of helps, but that lamp was very shallow and it ended up not being good enough. And frankly, cleanse is what's needed here. And honestly, I would rather see the Moira go Kiriko than you, but one of you needs to go Kiriko to keep that tank aggressive.
Surrender to my will.
Give them another blow before it's over.
Yeah, your aim is all over the place.
Keep the payload moving. Stay near the immortality field. It's not your day today.
10 seconds remaining.
Immortality fields expired. I got you.
I feel like you're either playing on a console or a controller. If you're on PC and you're playing with a controller, stop that immediately. And if this is console, I wish you would have said something in your post just so I would have known. But your aim there looked very controlled by a joystick. That was the first time I felt that way, though, so I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so we're back on Baptiste again. So maybe you're playing Baptiste on attack and Ana on defense? I don't know.
You're completely healed. Nice to be the patient for a change.
Okay, I'm good with the DPSing there and then going back to heals. I'd have done the same. I like that immortality. The reason I like it is because your team's going to be playing kind of around here, and that lamp is out of harm's way because it's like right in there. I like this lamp so that it keeps people aggressive. The only thing is that it might be a little on the premature side. I probably would have waited a little bit more for this fight to kind of progress and then maybe throw it when I'm going to reload or something. but the general positioning of this lamp I like, just maybe the timing of it not the greatest. The one nice thing, though, is actually it might help your Bastion if the Bastion can just get inside that circle before he gets healed. But once you're done reloading, I hope you go instantly to healing that Bastion. Yeah, okay, good. I'd like to see that Moira playing a little bit further back, just so that she could have been helping on healing that Bastion there. She feels very locked in on that tank. It looked like somebody pinged that Ramatra. If it wasn't you, try to start pinging more, and if it was you, good job. I feel like it's a job for supports to be pinging out of position enemy heroes. So if you're not doing that right now, get more in a habit of doing that. And if you are doing that, keep doing it. That lamp I like. Yeah, all you can do here is heal bot. Shift. I don't know why you're not shifting. There you go. You finally do it, but why you're waiting so long, I don't know. Keep healing. Just heal through your window. Heal through the window. Heal through the window. Abandon the window. Get closer to your team. Jump, 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 jump. Get ready to jump. Don't leave the cart. Okay, your Ramatra's on it. It's got to be careful of that, but... Oh wait, that was your Bastion ulting. Yeah, I thought that was... For some reason, I thought there was an enemy Bastion ulting. I'm getting tired. It's 4 in the morning. Good lamp. I like that. Good. Very good job there. That's a big ultimate to just take out like that. Very well done. Oh man, it's a battle of the oppressive ultimates, and now it's who can support the other better. And they've got the better supports for this, and they pushed you guys off. You guys really desperately need Kiriko. You guys desperately need to be anti-ing the enemy team and being able to cleanse antis. Antis are what are ultimately costing you this game.
Initiating match.
And you can only do so much in regards to that. You've shown you can play Ana, so if you can anti them, like that's, you know, it's either that or you're cleansing your Ramatra. But yeah, the lamp's not enough in that case. It just isn't.
Three, two, one.
Okay, so now you guys are playing the right supports, but why is it taking you guys this long and with this much of a time disadvantage? I don't know if it'll be enough at this point. This feels like too little, too late, but better late than never. So let's see what you guys can do with it. I like the over-aggression here just because you guys do have to really make up some time difference here, but the support just wasn't coming their way, and the DPS isn't really coming out as effectively as needed to play that aggressive. So it just kind of looked like a massive overextend. So what I would suggest is try to either get in this room or this room, and then just heal out here, because right inside of that archway there, let me clear this out, but right inside here is basically where you guys need to hold. And you clearly see being on this bridge is not safe, so get in one of these rooms and just heal out of one of these rooms and keep that area safe, and maybe even occasionally poke out that way and just heal anybody coming out of spawn into this area. It's not your job to do anything to that soldier. I mean, you could zoom in and maybe land a shot or two on him and maybe make him retreat, but soldier can heal himself and he's just going to pop back out and start shooting again. So all you can really do is make them temporarily retreat, but it's asking a lot because your tank's at half health, and your focus really needs to be on keeping that tank up because that's how you're going to hold this choke. So all you can really do is do a quick flick shot or two at that soldier and get into a safe spot for when he comes back out again, because there's really not a lot you can do. Your team is very immobile. There's just not a lot of mobility. Overwatch 2 at the moment is all about mobility, and your team can't get to high ground. They can't contest the high ground, and that's going to hurt you. And it's great positioning by this soldier to take advantage of that. But all you can do is try to get into a safe spot and keep just pocket healing your tank and your bastion and anybody else that can get over here. But you didn't do that. You stayed on the bridge and died.
One of these days I'll end up in Fiji.
So now at this point, you guys gotta try to hold that one choke I pointed out last time. Yeah, this one right here. This is where you gotta hold now. And that's where you gotta make a hard hold for basically 3 minutes, so good luck. Oh, you missed you hit asleep, but it wasn't on the Ramatra. This is gonna stagger you guys to the point where I don't hate that nano just because the Kiriko already committed her ultimate, and if you lose this fight, your team's gonna be so staggered the round's probably over. So you're just doing what you can. You gotta go. Oh, that was a good nade. God. Yeah, your tank. I don't know why your tank went that deep. Your tank basically just needed to clear out this area and try to re-win the fight so that you guys have time to make another contest and try to hold this area. He went too deep. And because he went too deep, you lost line of sight of him. The only thing I could really suggest here is playing down in this area and then shooting out. But I wouldn't have expected him to go that deep, frankly. I would have expected him to stay in that lane and not go that way. That's what I would have expected. So I get that you kind of lost him a little bit, because I probably would have too, unless you guys are voice comming together. But the right thing to do would have been to play down there. But I'm not going to be too harsh on why you didn't do that, because I kind of didn't think he would have gone that deep either. Yeah, he shouldn't have went that deep. Oh, God. And then you guys are just running into the ultimate, and then that ult just goes on forever and ever and ever, and it's oppressive as hell, and you guys are going to lose because of it. That's what's going to happen here. You guys, your team, ultimately what happened here is your team doesn't know how to deal with Ramatra ult, and you're just losing because of it. And you guys are like just trying to figure out like what they're doing to make it work, and then you're trying to make it work with their team comp without having a true understanding of why their Ramatra ult is just 10 times more oppressive than what your team's Ramatra ult is. So, number one, understand Ram ult better. Number two, use abilities. For example, Baptiste jump, Baptiste shift. 3, your aim could be better. 4, anti heal or cleanse. Need more anti-healing or cleansing from your support comp. Be it from you or the other guy. Call it out. Ask for it. if you're getting Moira's on your team, for example, Moira's definitely shifting down in my support hierarchy from where I originally had her. Kiriko and Ana are very good plays. Baptiste is okay, but your team really needed Kiriko and Ana, and your team needed a way better understanding of how to deal with Ramatra ult. So I hope this was a helpful VOD review for you, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.